Hey folks, welcome back. And how do you know that a toy was well loved and well played with? Well, because it looks like this. My version of the Transformers vintage G1 Bluestreak. And I'm gonna cover as much as I can of them. And you'll see what I mean when we take a look at this guy in the latest GotBot True review. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Check out Machinery Man, the Everything Factor. Have a look for me around everywhere, and spend some time on the page here and check out the playlist and see what tickles your fancy. And this is Bluestreak. Sometimes he's been called Silverstreak, understandably why. A lot of people misremember him with blue sides because of his, I think it was Diaclone release, maybe, which was of course a forerunner to these guys. Mine is missing his hood. His head no longer really likes to stay up. These back window pieces are kinda loose, and it was common to lose his hood, to be honest with you. It's a shame that I did, but it came off, it popped off so often when I was little that I just put it aside and used him as a convertible. But I still really enjoyed this guy, always did. And I looked at a Masterpiece KO update of this guy in episode 166, and that was a blue version of Bluestreak-ish, sorta. And of course this mold was also used for Smokescreen, it was used for Prowl, and honestly, I don't have either of those except this guy. And in the Classics line, which is probably the closest comparison that we can make right now, all I have is Prowl yet, though I would love to have the other two. You can see how the update would work, and this being an updated mold of this is actually really good, I think. We did get a Smokescreen and a Prowl in the Combiner Wars line, which was based on the mold used for ever so many characters. It was used for Streetwise. You know, it's a good mold. I can see what it was going for, but it doesn't really match this as well as this does, because this has his iconic door wings, as does this. That Streetwise mold does not. Nice idea. I see where they're going with it, but not quite what this was. Anyway, taking that out of it, and I did look at Prowl in full way back in episode 6. Man, my skills were pretty questionable then, although some might say my skills at doing this are pretty questionable now. Still, you want a good chance to laugh at just how bad I was when I started this. Go back and check that video out. What can I say? Paint apps for this guy, 10. It was no mistaking that he was the guy from the show. Maybe they're not perfect, but generally you remember the black, the red, and the silver. Or some people incorrectly throw that blue in there. But I'm going to say 10. He rolls like a champ, still rolls like a champ. It's a shame that the chrome on his wheels is, after wearing off, it's now just red. But, you know, in his heyday, his paint apps were a 10. Rolls like a champ. Rubber tires on this guy. Rubber tires. You hardly ever see that anymore. I think it's fantastic. Let's go into the transformation. Well, normally what you would do is, you know, you'd open up these doors, although there's no molded in detail inside. You would come here and extend the body, which would kind of detach the roof section. You would come down here, you would lift up this little black, I guess we'll call it crotch piece tab, and turn this around and bring that waist tab back down. You would turn out the feet like this and split them apart just like that, and that's really the bottom of the guy. done. You come up under and you can see the way his arms are up underneath. You would detach them from the two pegs that are on the shoulders and begin to work them out and work them out. And it's really funny, the way the shoulder pieces fold in is actually still reminiscent of what's done with the Classics mold. It's certainly, that engineering, that newer engineering is certainly influenced by this engineering of the time, and you can see that. We bring down the chest, the head comes up, we now just need to kind of orient the arms with the tires on back, and for the record, the Masterpiece version does kind of keep those tires on the back. We open out his door wings and boom, there you go. Now the joints on mine are extremely loose after all these years. But I thought he looked great. I guess technically he has, if you lift that tab up, technically he has a waist swivel. You know? Of course you're not supposed to lift that up. He had elbows, he had a wrist swivel. The chest could move up, which kind of gave you an extra point of articulation that I'm not sure is extremely useful, especially since the head doesn't really move, though the head can look down, can't really look up. The shoulders can go way out to the side. No real forward or back, unfortunately. The door wings, okay, so mine are extremely loose. In fact, they like to pop off a lot. But you know, with Painted 10, a transformation that was simple but involved. You know, the way that the shoulder pieces flip around, involved. The fact that you got to turn the whole waist around, a little bit involved. I like his transformation. I'm going to give that a strong 9. And his articulation for the time, okay, so he had limitations in terms of his legs being largely immobile. But everything else kind of moves a nice bit, and he had a nice bit of articulation. I would give that a 9. I think that this was a great figure. I really do. I think it was a great figure. I think this mold was a pretty fantastic mold. In case you're curious about how he compares, you know, with kind of a more modern update, you know, here he is again with, if I can get his feet to cooperate. Here he is again with, you know, that Classics prowl. I can't show him, unfortunately, with the KO Masterpiece version because that wasn't mine. It has since gone back to its owner. I really appreciate him letting me even take a look at it. But you know, you can certainly see the influences of the original mold as it was used with this Classics mold. For sure, no doubt about it, and that's why I think it is a fantastic update of, you know, a toy that was a fantastic toy back in the day. So, in the end, overall score for this guy, because it was so great and it's led to so many good incarnations since, I got to give it a strong 9 overall. If you are a fan of G1, you really owe it to yourself to make sure to have this guy, or at least a version, if not all 3 of them, for yourself. You know, on your shelf. Classic character, classic toy. Anyway, folks, that's it for another trip back several years. Thanks for dropping by, giving me some of your valuable time, and I look forward to when we get together again right here for another visit inside the videos.